Welcome to the Leaves on a Stream practice. Start this practice by getting yourself into a position that is most comfortable for you. You can either close down your eyes or just rest them with a gentle gaze. And we'll just start by bringing our attention into the breath. Noticing with our next in-breath the feeling of the breath as it goes in through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, into the chest and into the tummy, and noticing as we're breathing the breath out and relaxing more deeply into the space that we're in right now. We want to be trying to get ourselves into a nice gentle flow of breath. However that is right for us. There's no right or wrong way. Just a nice steady breath in and a nice steady breath out. And we're going to take a moment to visualize ourselves sitting comfortably just by a beautiful flowing stream. It's autumn and the leaves are beautiful shades of yellow and orange and brown, and you notice some of those leaves that have floated gently down from the surrounding tree line from where you are sitting have floated down into the stream, and they're gently making their way down the stream, maybe occasionally tinkering in a little rock pool as they then make their way past you and down the stream, further away from your view. For the next few moments, we want to just take time to notice when thoughts might pop in, and these may be thoughts that there's things to be done, or there's things that we should have done, or that maybe this practice itself just seems silly perhaps, and just taking each one of those thoughts as it enters our mind, and imagine placing that each individual thought on one of those leaves that are very gently floating by, and watching that thought float on by, taking each of those thoughts, whether they are pleasurable, painful, or completely neutral, even joyous or enthusiastic thoughts, just place them on a leaf and allow them to float by. During this practice, it may take time for thoughts to start to stream in, and they may also momentarily stop, and that's okay. Just try to continue watching this stream, watching the leaves float on by and the water trickling down gently and smoothly, and the thoughts will at some point pop back in again, as they are meant to do. As humans, it is normal for thought to pop in and pop out, and that can at times be distracting or frustrating, taking us away from the moment or feeling an unpleasant emotion perhaps. Just take some time just allowing the stream to flow at its own pace, popping each thought that comes in onto a leaf and watching it gently float by. Trying not to speed up the stream or to push the leaves on quicker than they want to, and try not to rush those thoughts along, just allow them to pop in at the speed that they would like, and just take time just popping those thoughts one by one onto a leaf and allowing them to float by, creating space and distance, just allowing them to come and go at their own pace. And there may be times when we get caught up in a thought, or we may feel that we're not doing this practice right and there's no right or wrong way, just trying where we can to practice placing these thoughts on leaves and allowing them to pass through. It's normal to get caught up in judgmental thoughts, or thoughts that we're not quite doing something the way that we feel that it ought to be done. Completely normal, just to allow these thoughts to be there. Pop them on a leaf and just allow them to float on by. We don't need to act on these thoughts right now in this practice. We're just creating a comfortable space to just pop them over there on that beautiful golden leaf, and just allowing it some space to float on by. And it may be that at times a leaf gets stuck, or a thought gets stuck, and just allow it to hang around until it's ready to float by. It may just be there, whirling around in a little pool of water as it's coming down the stream, and it's okay that it's there. Just allow it to be there until it's ready to float by. And it may be that the same thought might pop up again, or even a number of times, and that's absolutely okay. Just watch it float by another time and keep popping it on that leaf during this practice. And it's also quite normal for difficult or painful feelings to arise, and that's okay. We want to try as best we can to acknowledge that, and just maybe say to ourselves, I notice myself having a feeling of, and then add that feeling in, and also placing that on the leaf and allowing that to float by. Your thoughts commonly may hook you at times, to kind of imagining that kind of fishing rod and, kind of catch that thought, and they will often distract us from being fully present in this exercise, and that's okay. It's completely normal. We can build an art of realising that we've become sidetracked and that our thoughts have been hooked, and with time it gets easier to gently bring our attention back to our exercise, back to our visualisation practice, and back to the stream, back to the leaves, and back to just creating some space, distance from our thoughts, and just allowing time to be. And we can practice this for as little or as long as we feel comfortable. We may want to start off small and build this up, or we may just be comfortable just doing this every now and again as a little bit of a tool to manage thoughts that tend to get hooked into our mind and into our kind of emotions. And as we come into the end of whenever we choose to finish this practice, we want to be trying to bring our attention, drawing it back from that visualization, coming back from the leaves and the stream, and sitting by that beautiful landscape, and bringing our attention back to the breath, taking a moment as we take the next breath in, whenever that is for us, and then blowing our breath away, and trying to connect with the present moment before we open our eyes. And for some people that may be a wriggling of the fingers or a wriggling of the toes. It may be perhaps a little rub of the back against the chair if we're sat in the chair, or as we're laying down, maybe against the bed there. Just bringing ourselves to notice what we can hear within our environment, and when we're ready to end the practice, if we've had our eyes closed, we want to then open our eyes. That towards the end of that practice, and it is common for this practice to feel tricky at the start, and that's okay. It's just having a little practice of, a tool that may work for you. It may be helpful in managing thoughts and heavy emotions, and teaching ourselves to create some space, comfort and distance between ourselves, our thoughts and our emotions. So feel any time that it may be helpful, you can come back to this practice, or once you've got comfortable with the elements of this practice, you can do this without the audio of this, and spend a few minutes just taking time to have this visualization yourself, however this works for you.